Well, it's December 31st. It's New Year's Eve 2024. So tomorrow we start the new year. And so I just wanted to give a little bit of information on what's happening as far as the real estate market around Helena, and then kind of give just a little bit of a insight into the market and what I think is going to be happening. And I've been doing this for about, this will be, I think, is this 18 years? Yeah, so this is going to be my 18th year in real estate sales. And I've seen a lot of cycles. I've seen a lot of things happen. I got licensed obviously in time to see the 2008 crash, so I made my way through that. I was actively selling and making a living from 2008 to 2012, which those were the tough years. Not kidding. And then we've also seen some pretty highs. There's some pretty high highs actually. And so I'll jump in and just show you some graphs here real quick, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about what's going to happen. So this is just the Helena area. If you look at our median sales price, of course, all the way back in 2011, it was like 194 grand. Now we're sitting at 464. So we're no longer cheap. We used to be pretty cheap, but we have been discovered. So 464, but this is where it gets kind of exciting. You start looking at new listings. It's always been pretty chaotic, really, when you look at this graph. But it's always kind of been steady Eddie, really, through this period, up until about April of 2020. And then what happens with that is that our new listings are going down, but our pending sales during that same time went way up. And that's everybody was just gobbling houses up. I mean, that was the big buying frenzy of, post-pandemic, everybody working from home and working remote and everything. So, but then if you look at what's happening now, 633, the buzz is gone. The buying frenzy is over. So 633, and if you go back here, we're like at May of 2012 levels, as far as the number of pending sales is concerned. And of course, our community has grown significantly since then. So if you were to adjust for the actual population increase for the Helena area, and kind of do an overlay on that, the difference on the pending sales and the homes for sale is actually vastly different as far as a percentage. Closed sales, of course, is going to follow right with pending, and it's down. So days on market, we're starting to creep up a little bit. We had a little bit of a lull in here where, we dropped down. It's still, 44 days on the market, from active to close. So month and a half, something like that. That's pretty normal. But we're starting to creep up a little bit. And so then our month of supply, it's just, how many months would it take for us to sell all the houses that are on the market right now? And based on all this other information we looked at, the calculation says 2.4. And so this is really where we want to be, is right around 3, so we're not really that far off. But this is kind of the fun one. It's showing the buyers are starting to get a little bit of an advantage here. So the percent of list price. So this means how much the sellers have actually come down on the list price to actually make the deal work. And you can see, like, this is the feeding frenzy. So it starts at about April of 2020, and everything was selling at about a 98.7% average. And you can kind of see, I mean, if you follow it back here, that's pretty normal for many, many, many years. Drop down to 97, but pretty normal. And then we get this huge spike, right? Huge spike. But now if you look at this, okay, the sellers are kind of coming back to reality. Pretty normal, 98.6% list to sales. So what that's saying is that the sellers are now willing to look at offers, which is great. That's the way that it used to be. So the sellers have realized that the market has changed, and now the buyers are going to start to enter the market. So basically what I presume is going to happen is that I presume that we're going to see a pretty active real estate market in 2025. The interest rates are still pretty high, which sucks. But there have been some changes in the real estate industry that are really exciting. So the main one being the changes in the commission structure between buyers agents and buyers and listing agents and sellers. So the seller no longer has the somewhat obligation. They were obligated in a fashion to actually offer a buyer's agent commission previously. Well, they're not obligated to do that anymore. And the thing that's really exciting about that is that it opens the door for innovative agents such as myself to offer some pretty exciting things. So one of the most exciting things is that we have a menu of options that a person can choose from if they want to list their house, but say that they want to control all the showings. Well, great, that'll save you some money. We'll be able to take that out of the equation. We also have some options where if you just want to pay a flat $2,500 fee, we'll get you on the market for $2,500. So it doesn't matter whether it's a $150,000 house or a $15 million house. If you want to get it on the market, we've got a way that we can do that for $2,500 now. So that's pretty much unbeatable. And then as far as buyer agency is concerned, buyers now have the ability to negotiate these buyer agent fees into the transaction. And that also gives a lot of latitude as far as negotiations are concerned. So it'll be really exciting. But if you want some more information, just hit me up. My information's all over the place here. So, yeah, I'm really excited for 2025. And if you're thinking about selling, you just owe yourself. You owe yourself to give me a call. You just at least have to look at what we have to offer. And if it's a good fit, fantastic. And if not, then, at least you know. So happy 2025. It's going to be amazing.